energy than Bola usually has this time.
Yes.
But this is BlerdTalk with
Bola and Whitney.
Oh yeah.
How y'all doing? Oh god, I didn't want to go to Wendy Williams. Oh god. It's because we watch her work. We don't watch her. It's just on Channel 12, like plays in the office, and then. Anyway, how is everyone doing today? So I don't want to say it like her. It's
how you doing?
So it's so nasty. How you doing? How you doing? It's just like, ugh, stop. Anyway, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
All right, we got an awesome topic for you guys today. We are going to be talking about the movie Jumanji.
Welcome to the jungle.
It was really good.
We need to distinguish that because, to be honest, when Bola was like, "Let's do Jumanji," I was like, "Let me. Okay, which streaming platform can I find it on?" And then I was looking it up, and then she was like, "Yeah, you can find it on so and so." And I'm like, "Oh wait, crap! I forgot that there was a new one because I would have been watching the old one. Like, I read it. It's like, wait, what are you talking about?"
And I was like, Whitney, I know you're not talking about the old one, right?
Yeah, I definitely
I
was.
actually love the old one, but I'm not gonna lie. Low key, I was afraid. What? I was so afraid of Jumanji. Like, if we honestly got the real game, because of that first movie, I would not ever play that game.
I actually have it. Well, not here. I think it's in my parents' house. Because I
love
loved the movie so much that I bought the game because I was like,
I would always think, because we watched the movie when we were like kids, when it first came out, so I always thought in my mind that if you play that game, the stuff is going to come into your house. So I was being a kid, but I was just like, I can't ever play Jumanji, but I loved the movie. It was good.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah.
He was just awesome in that.
He was really good in a lot of stuff. So sad.
Yeah, a lot of sadness. Anyway, so before we get into the new Jumanji 2.0, Jumanji reboot,
Welcome to the jungle.
Whatever you want to call it.
That's actually the name of it, though.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, fact checker. Thank you. She is our fact checker, by the way.
No problem, yeah.
She is our fact checker. And so, before we get into that, we're just going to talk about some blurting out stuff. We're going to blurt out.
Let's blur out.
Blurt out. Blurt out. Blurt out. Okay, we're not going to get in trouble because I didn't sing the actual words. So, copyright has not been infringed upon.
Oh, I didn't even know what we were singing. What?
Blurt out. I was like, remember the Roll Out song from Ludacris?
Oh!
Roll Out. Whitney.
I knew that song.
Everybody else listening to this knew what I was talking about.
I didn't, sorry.
It's all good. Okay, so what are you learning
As
about?
Stewie says, and the last horse crosses the finish line. That's usually me, peeps. That's usually me.
Okay, how about you go first about what you're blurting out about?
I am blurting out about Atypical Season 2. It's a Netflix original series. I mentioned it in passing, I think last episode yep. that they had put out the second season, but I hadn't watched it yet. So on vacation, came back from vacay, y'all. I watched all of Season 2. Did I watch it all when I was on vacation? No, I think I watched it right after I got back. Binge watched it through, but it was awesome. It's a really good series, so highly recommend it. Yeah.
I saw the trailer and I wasn't amused. I wasn't enthralled.
It's not your cup of tea?
Yeah, when I watched it because I remember you talked about it in the last episode, and I was like, I looked at the trailer on Netflix and I was like, not your thing. It isn't interesting to want to watch. That's the issue.
I also binge watched all of the current seasons of Black Mirror that are on Netflix, which one of my coworkers, his name is Duke, has been recommending it to me for like a while, and I just got around to watching it, and it is wow. It's really good. They're like, because it's an anthology series, so it's not like you have to actually watch them in order. And there are some episodes that are good, and then there are some episodes where it's like, oh my god, this was fantastic. But it's kind of like the main premise of like the episodes kind of center around technology, kind of like the dark side and some of the, benefits. But I think let me see, the first season I think had 3 episodes, the second season had 4, and then the third and fourth season had 6. So out of 19, forgive me if my counting as retarded people, but I think that's 19. But anyway, out of 19 episodes, I think 3 had happy endings.
Well, dang.
Some of them had neutral, what I would call is like, kind of neutral, but
it's not a happy series.
It's not. Yeah, no, it's not exactly happy because it's really.
There's not a lot of happy stuff out anyway nowadays. A lot of the TV, I might just comment. I've noticed a lot of TV is like crime based, very much dramatic, but not in like the superfluous way or like fun way. There's angsty stuff like all the teen dramas. But it's like a lot of the TV now have been about like resistance and resisty.
No, that's not a word.
Resistance, like overtaking, subjugation, apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic, technology infringing upon, people. Just a bunch of... I just noticed the nature of TV now. It's more towards the realm of...
It's reflecting the kind of the world that we're living in, or the world that we need to resist.
It's funny because if you look at media from other countries, it's like the opposite. You know what I mean? Like,
I would beg to differ that other countries aren't in quite the dark space that we feel like. That a lot of us feel like we're in with countries are not.
I'm not saying that their countries are dark. Are not having some of their own little spells of darkness and stuff, but the TV that comes out from other places are still more relational based. There's way more rom-coms. I mean, now some of them, like places like South Korea, they actually have a lot of magical realism, but they interject that still with their same style of dramas and love stories and that kind of stuff. But they had like this really cool drama about Are You Human, which was about like an AI. They were doing a lot of stuff with AI and robots and stuff. So that's there, but it's still very much tempered with like just a little bit of sugar, just a little bit of, there's this love story in there.
Spice. And everything nice.
Yes, nice stuff is there. But now you have the American genre, all just kind of like, The Handmaid's Tale.
I haven't watched that yet, but I need to get around to watching it.
I've seen like one episode, and it's
really good.
It
but
actually
I've heard
is.
It's really intense. To me, it seems like it's probably in the vein of like 13 Reasons Why, where it's like fantastic, but you got to be in a really good place to watch it.
Yes, and that takes me to one thing that I'm blurting out about. It's because of there's a Facebook series called Sorry for Your Loss. I don't know why, but I just woke up one early morning. It was like 2 in the morning, I want to say 3. And I couldn't go back to sleep, and I was just laying there, and I was like, I still have time. And so I just decided I was getting my phone, and I saw a show like pop up. Because I watch TV there's Facebook Watch, so I watch episodes of stuff on Facebook Watch. Yeah, it's very interesting. You find like cool series and stuff there. So check out Facebook Watch, y'all. But then there was a show called Sorry for Your Loss. And it had the lady, Elizabeth Olsen that plays Scarlet Witch in the Marvel series. Sweet. Yes, the youngest sister of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. She looks like them anyway, so.
She does.
She really does. They all favor each other very much. But I just thought it was so interesting because I was looking at this and I was like, oh, what is this? What's she doing? I love to see all the Marvel people doing something different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching it and I just got enthralled by the story because it was about a girl who was dealing with like grief because her husband died. And like throughout the show, and then her sister has like alcoholism problem and the mom's trying to keep everybody together. And then her and her brother-in-law don't get along. And she's white and the husband was black. And then her sister is Asian. It's weird. I was like, oh, cool, diversity, hey. Anyway, but the show was about mental illness and depression and all these other things. And it's just a show about people, like, not dealing well with life and things that happen to them. And I was just sucked into this drama. And I watched 4 episodes straight. And I didn't go to sleep. I don't even remember if I had to go to work. But I was looking at it and I was like, this show is timely because of the state of what's going on in the world now and of people having a lot of mental health issues and just because of the stuff that's going on, you can hear a lot about depression and these things dealing with people. And so that's what interests me about that show. But I've noticed, I was like, wow, people are making this. Because, you like to see what's being made so you can see where the culture is and the times are and stuff. So, and of course.
I don't know that I feel like sometimes people didn't feel not safe making stuff, but feel like people would be as open to it until like more recently. So I feel like probably some people had things in their mind like, this is something that I would like to make, but I was like, I don't feel like it would be like received well. And I feel like because there's almost like a democratization of like television and movies because of stuff like Netflix and Amazon, where you can go straight there, and since they have a different model than like the network television where they're ad based, so they're like, oh, our advertisers are angry, we're gonna shut this show down, or we're not gonna show this episode, or we're not gonna have this topic. I feel like it makes more room in like the entertainment genre for these things that people would have thought was too risky before, stuff like Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that, where you could go straight to a platform, or like you said, because this is a Facebook
Watch.
So I feel like because of that, because you can go straight to the consumer, since you can kind of find your tribe, you can go straight to your niche. It doesn't have to be like super popular, it doesn't have to be like network television Nielsen ratings popular, but you could have enough to sustain you as a creator because you do have an audience. It's kind of funny. I was thinking about at BlerdCon, that one panel called Invisible Audiences, talking about, a lot of underrepresented groups like, Black people, Hispanics, LGBTQ, etc. And it's like, oh, we're not making stuff for those because these audiences don't exist. And that's false. Lies that they tell themselves because they just don't want to make this type of stuff. So I think it's really cool that, now more stuff like this does get made. And it might not have that same level, but it's got a really solid and sustainable, audience and business that you can
I really thought when you started talking that you were going to talk about how media and stuff has been more open, and it's like people have been more receptive to showing real life things as opposed to in the past when entertainment was about, oh no, this is entertainment, this is not about issues, it just needs to be funny, because people use it as escapism. They already have crappy lives, why would you like subject them to watch other people having crappy lives? And so that's how it looked back in the day. So you had your small little drama, but it's like, oh, there's somebody saves the day and someone's in love and all that sort of. It's really hard for me because I really loved rom-coms growing up. Probably my favorite things were watching rom-coms. I loved romantic comedies, and then I just, growing up, you're just like, this shit isn't real. I'm sorry. Excuse me, this sugar honey iced tea isn't real. So now I as much as I always want to go back and watch my old school, shows, I still watch stuff like Bridget Jones and stuff. And my favorite movie of all time is a movie called Ever After. The Drew Barrymore
I do really love
Cinderella
Ever
story.
After, yeah. I do love stuff like that, but I love that
I don't know if it's real,
have
so I
more
don't watch
choice.
it.
Because I did my my research paper at VCU on anime, and one of the things that I talked about in that paper, and it's changed some now, probably as a result of how popular anime got, because they showed more out there content and people wanted and liked that, whereas in America they were afraid to go down that route. But I was like, I like the fact that there are old school anime before it became as popular as it is now, but back in the 90s you had these stories, and a lot of the times the ending wasn't really a happy ending, or it was ambiguous. You didn't have it neatly wrapped up in this lovely happy bow.
Fruits Basket, that one wasn't that was weird, and it's
I think of Revolutionary Girl Utena. That's definitely, even though you could say that it was a happy ending, you didn't know for sure. It made it very ambiguous,
which I don't like, actually.
I love that, because I like the fact that sometimes you want to see something for escapism, but sometimes you're looking at it, you're like, as you said, this shit isn't real. And you want you want it to be acknowledged.
I don't mind unreal and unreal. I don't mind both. I do like my dramas and, soap opera-ish type stuff that is just gosh, this isn't real. Or it's it's so cheesy, you should put on a cracker. I do like that. Hashtag cheddar jokes, you know? Which are dad jokes, aka dad jokes. Just so you guys know, just the really stupid jokes. I will tell one later. But I love all that stuff, but then I also love, you know, the interesting concepts and things, like, kind of like I Kill Giants and stuff that we have talked about too. Mm-hmm. But my issue is that I like, because I'm a storyteller myself and I really pay attention, I like things to end. That's mm-hmm. what I'm saying. If it's going to be an ending, it needs to be an ending that we can all be pleased with. And so, even the ones that I don't like their ending, mm-hmm. but as long as, to me, there was an ending of some kind. Like, let's take Legend of Korra. I hated how it ended. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I'm a big fan of their stuff, but mm-hmm. I disliked the last episode completely. And
Speaking, I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you hear that Netflix is making an Avatar live action?
All I have to say is M. Night Shyamalan's part of it. I ain't watching that stuff.
It's not. They're actually going to have appropriately diverse cast that look like the characters in the cartoons.
Good, because I was like, M. Night, what the heck were you thinking? Oh,
yeah.
You just messed up my show.
Cool, M. Night, considering that you yourself are an Asian man, but you completely whitewashed like the entire cast.
Well, and the funny thing is, well, you know, he made his people the Fire Nation. All the Fire Nation were Indians when they're Asian, and then I was like, the Indians should have been at least the Water Tribe, because that's how they looked, and I was just like, come on. I was just mad. The only thing I was happy with was Aang, the casting of Aang. Aang, I thought was cool. I don't think they had Toph in that episode, in that season.
No, because they didn't go like...
They kept it to the first series. Yeah, the first series.
And then it probably, because it bombed so hard, decided not to.
I tried to find things to like about it, but I just didn't. Anyway, what else are you learning about?
And oh my god, the guy who plays, what's his name? Who was also in Twilight. His acting was so wooden, it was like Jackson. So painful.
And I was like, he did a good job in Twilight, but I was just like, ew.
Yeah, he was pretty good in Twilight, but I'm like, it was just Avatar. So wooden, and it was like so bad, and it was like uncomfortable.
And it's such a beloved series. It's sad for the authors when they give their movies to people and they make them suck. So that's a fear of mine. If I have my own books,
I have a feeling that they're going to do a really good job, though.
Huh?
I have a feeling that Netflix will probably do a really good job.
Oh yeah, they're going to do a good job, because now we're in what? I don't even know how many years ago that was. Avatar movie, so it's like now at least there's movement in Hollywood for change mm-hmm. and for diversity, which we're seeing a lot of. So people want to hear and see more stories involving them. Like I saw on the Daily Show this week, he had Jennifer Jenny Han on, who was the writer of the book To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Oh, cool!
And I did not know that the author was Asian American. Let me say that because I don't know if she's Chinese. I did not know the author was Asian American. And so she actually fought to make sure that the lead girl was Asian. Mm-hmm. And she was like, that's why it took so long for the movie to get made. Because she's like, no, you need to find an Asian American to play. So I'm not releasing you guys to make mine. Mm-hmm. And then the movie was so popular, it did so well on Netflix.
I loved it so much.
Yes, in fact, I've watched 2 other angsty teen dramas on Netflix, and they really do pale in comparison. I watched The Kissing Booth. The Kissing Booth was nice, but I still like the other one.
It was pretty good, but I definitely
like this one
far preferred To All the Boys.
Yeah, and then there's one called Susan or Lucy Burgess is a Loser or something.
I did watch that. I watched that. I really like that actor.
The guy, he's in all 3 of them right now. He's really in both of those movies. Yeah. He's good.
I love him. Oh my god,
yeah, I just didn't like that movie as much either. So I was just like, this one was kind of weak. But I did watch it, and I was like, such full of angst. But it just got weaker to me. I was like, why am I watching these movies? I was like, I got away from these. This is not my time anymore. I'm much more down with sorry for your loss.
I will always watch that show. Just like now, like my favorite book genre is still young adult.
Yeah,
I consider myself young, and I'm an adult. I'm not middle-aged yet.
Okay, a funny thing is, when it comes to that about adulting and grown up, Amanda Seales, who plays one of the bougie friends on Insecure, she's like a known person, DJ. If I showed you her picture, you would know who she is. Okay. She's been acting for a long time. Well, she's been acting since she was a little kid, but then she does like DJing and all that kind of stuff. She's a comedian as well. But you always hear her around, and she's always on The Breakfast Club. Anyway, her name is Amanda Seales, and she's on Insecure. She's one of her 4 friends, the bougie one. She's the bougie one.
The one who's a lawyer?
No, that's Molly. That's her main friend.
Oh.
That's Issa Rae's main friend on the show.
I don't think I've gotten far
There's
enough
the chunky one, and then there's the blonde one that's married, and she just has it all together. The bougie friend.
I don't think I've gotten far enough into it because I haven't watched all
Okay, well, Amanda Seales has a her own podcast called Side Effects of whatever. She always has a different thing for each episode. Mm-hmm. And so she was talking about side effects of being in your 30s. Mm-hmm. She was talking about the difference between being an adult and being grown up. Mm-hmm. And then it's so interesting that she made this distinction because I was like, a grown up is an adult, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, no. In your 30s, this is what you're expected. You're supposed to be a grown up. Because you can be an adult and you don't got none of your stuff together. And she's like, you're just an adult. It's like, if you don't got your money together, you don't live by yourself. You don't know. She was just going through all the lists. Like, if this is you, then you're just an adult. But she's like, when you're a grown up, it means you pay for yourself. You got your own house. You got your crib. You're well established in your career. All this kind of stuff. That's when you can say you're a grown up. So, if you want to say that you're an adult, you can just say you're an adult. But a grown up, they just stay on top. They got their stuff. They're taking care of themselves. I just thought it was interesting that she made that distinction. And how we're apparently supposed to be in that stage by 30 anyway. And unfortunately, not everybody is.
So, and I would say that whether you're an adult or a grown-up, it's still okay to like kid things. Because the things for my 1.5-year-old nephew, I'm like super excited about this stuff. Please don't tell me
you watch Paw Patrol or something.
No.
Okay.
No. I will make sure that once my nephew is kind of allowed to because they don't really want him watching like a bunch of TV now anyway.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. But when he is of the age, I'm going to make sure he gets the good stuff.
Like, what's the good stuff?
Eureka's Castle. Hey Arnold.
He is not going to like that stuff. It's going to be totally different for him. He's not going to get it.
If I start him off early, he will.
You're so
X-Men,
convicted.
Spider-Man, Eureka's Castle,
Such
Blue's
conviction
Clues.
in your voice. You're like, if I start him off early, he will.
That's right, the good stuff.
All these kids nowadays, I wish I could get my nieces to watch Hey Arnold. I wish. But what they want to watch? Monster High. And I hate Monster High. Oh God, I hate Monster High.
I don't think I've heard of Monster High.
Oh gosh, if you look at it, you will want to gouge your eyes out. It's
and
like
that's why I want to make sure that
Mean Girls, Prissy Girls mixed with monsters. And I'm just like, and you're like, you're a vampire, you're a werewolf, but you're like one that looks like a Bratz doll. Yeah, it's like...
Oh wait, I think I have seen a couple episodes, and I looked at it, I'm like, this
cringe.
Is awful.
It's cringeworthy.
Yes. Why?
My niece loves Monster High, and I can't stand it. All these all these mean girl type things, and like, oh God, it's just so vapid. And I'm just like, and then they look like monsters, and I'm just like, but they look like monsters with too much makeup. They're the Bratz dolls of monsters. Oh,
they're the Twilight of the monster world, instead of being the Anne Rice. Instead of being the
because they're not bad. They're supposed to be like, oh, High School of Monsters.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh no, girl. No. Okay, the only other thing I want to blur out about. Do you have another blurred out thing?
Oh, I felt like there was something else that I wanted to mention, but now I lost it.
I think I remember it, but I want to tell you this thing first. I am like so excited. Squeal with me.
Well, tell me what it is, and I'll figure out how to squeal it out.
Flight of the Conchords are back together. Yes, they were on the Colbert Show this week, and funny enough, their prime minister was also, because she's like one of the youngest women leaders of all time.
Girl power.
Yes, Jacinda Ardern. I'm gonna send you the clip, but anyway, Flight of the Conchords, they came back and they made a track, and they're having an HBO special, and I cannot wait. But you have to listen to their new song. It's so fun. They are the best at musical comedy. It's good music, but like, they make the songs are great. But then the lyrics are just so comical, you're just like, what did they just say? It's so wonderful. I literally like had a day. I listened to their live performance twice in a row when I was at work. But I was ecstatic. I'm like, yes, finally! They came back together and making this stuff. So Fly the Conchords. If you've never heard of them, you need to. Because I just love them.
Gases.
Oh yeah, you're
every poison their asses.
Binary solo. 0000001 0000011 0000011. Oh. Come on, sucker, lick my battery. Boogie, rubber boogie. Once again, without emotion, the humans are dead. It's not even my favorite one.
Oh, but I do love that one so much.
All the ladies in the world. And just the Eastern Goshinian, Republic of the Minion, Amphibian, Presbyterian. I mean, just like, they're just talking about ladies, and it's like all these qualifiers are just like, oh my gosh. Out of sights, maids and ladies, late nights, hard-working ladies, erudite, brainy ladies, hermaphrodite, lady men ladies. He's like, oh, you sexy hermaphrodite lady man babe, you sexy lady bits, and you sexy man bits too. Even you must be into you. Ooh, ooh. You're just like, what? I don't know where that mind goes.
Oh my god.
I'm so pleased. Like, I had to blurt out about them.
Tomorrow at work, I'm going to have to just play all of the Flight of Conchords.
Oh god, I don't have the second album, but the first one's still my favorite. But the stuff from the second season was funny too. But yes, they're back. They're having an HBO special. They've got all the music. I'm going to send you a clip, and I'm going to include one in the show notes.
Sweet.
So you guys can see this song about dads. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh my god, yes, that is definitely squeal-worthy.
But I think the last thing that we wanted to bring up was the trailer that we showed.
Oh yes! Dark Phoenix trailer. You guys, Dark Phoenix is my favorite character of the X-Men. And she's like my spirit animal, except for if she's not an animal, but...
Yeah. I mean, you mean Phoenix is your spirit animal.
Well, yeah, it is, but then I really love Dark Phoenix. Not even regular Phoenix. I love Dark Phoenix.
Because Phoenixes don't actually exist. Where did the word come from anyway? There aren't Phoenixes.
Lore? Where do unicorns come from? Or mermaids?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Now she's hating on Phoenixes. Don't be hating on Phoenixes.
I was like, where do they get the word? It doesn't exist in real life. And that doesn't matter.
But anyway, the reason that I love, because people are like, one of my friends was like, oh, so you always like the villains. I'm like, oh, yeah, usually. But anyway. But it's just because her outfit is better. The green and yellow for, like, Phoenix, I'm like, oh, no, I don't like that. But, like, the I don't know if it's even black or if it's reddish, because I guess it's, like, the way the shadows fall. But the yellow sash with the black outfit, I'm like, it's just so much cooler. That's why I'm all about Dark Phoenix as opposed to...
Anyway, we saw the trailer and it is awesome, y'all. Awesome. I'm so excited. I'm just mad I have to wait till next February.
Hopefully they won't F it up like they did on the third X-Men movie.
Wait, I liked Apocalypse.
No, I'm talking about the original trilogy.
Oh yeah, she turned into Dark Phoenix,
and she didn't even. It was like disintegration. I'm like, what the F is this?
Well,
and the movie was just awful anyway.
You gotta give him some leeway, like the graphics of the time, and then they had the Fox issue.
No. They couldn't. There were other movies. That was not the time where it's like original Clash of the Titans, where you couldn't like do some stuff with some fire. It was just not good. There was no excuse. It wasn't good.
She's like, it's not good.
Bryan Singer wasn't even working on it at that time, so...
The second one was. The first
and second were good, but then Bryan Singer was working on Superman, so he didn't do the third X-Men, and then the third X-Men sucked, and the Superman that he worked on sucked, so it was nobody won.
Just like heartbreak all around. It was. See, it was crappiness all around because the right person wasn't working on the right thing.
That's right.
Oh man.
Sorry, okay, people. Whoosah. But
anyway, totally and then I think the other thing was.
By the way, we'll throw it in we'll throw a clip to a link to the trailer for Dark Phoenix in there.
But I think also Captain Marvel trailer came out. Okay, which one are you more excited about, Phoenix or Captain Marvel?
I don't know, because I am not. I think that most people probably aren't that familiar with Captain Marvel, even if they are like a comic book fan. And my knowledge always pretty much came from the cartoons as opposed to like the actual comics. But I'm just so excited about this first Marvel female superhero movie.
Yes.
And the trailer looks awesome. It's not going to be like some Catwoman type of piece of crap like they did when DC did Catwoman, and it was, oh my god. I like Halle Berry a lot, but that was the awful, oh my god.
I didn't even watch it.
There's not, I mean, I'm pretty laid back on most stuff. I'm not gonna like trash most things, but like Superman Returns and like Catwoman, those are like the worst superhero movies ever.
Are you thinking about the new Superman too?
No. I loved Man of Steel, to be honest. But Superman Returns, that was the one with Brandon Routh.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Routh, who's also on Legends of, DC's Legends of Tomorrow. He plays, which one is it?
The Atom.
The Atom. Yeah. When he was Superman, that was an awful movie. I'm sorry. It was just, the pacing was awful. It felt like, why is this a superhero movie and I feel like I could fall asleep?
Yeah. And it looks like he was so perfect for the role, but then the person that they picked to play Lois, I wasn't really pleased with her.
Who did
that
they
girl?
pick?
The girl from Blue Crush. What's that girl's name? That really skinny actress. She always looks like she's starving. I'm sorry. Oh, let me just go back. Yes, exactly. Her.
Wait,
but she was Lois.
Is she the one who like Family Guy did the joke on where she turned to the side?
Yeah, probably so. I told you, because she's like not really there. It's weird. Anyway. Yes.
But yeah, that was not a good movie.
Yes. I just want to say,
disappointed because Bryan Singer did such a good job on the first two X-Men, and I was like, everybody was like, oh, it's gonna be an awesome Superman movie, and it was.
Okay, well, let's not talk about those two anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
I just want to say a quick shout out that I hope everybody in the Carolinas, because Hurricane Florence did come up in here, and I hope everybody's okay. I hope that recovery happens. I'm glad there wasn't that many loss of life, but I know the loss of property and infrastructure is going to be worse than anything else.
Ditto from me as well. And for the ones who did lose their lives, their families and whatnot, hearts go out to you guys.
Yes, exactly. I just want to say, Florence did avoid Richmond, but she came back with a vengeance, because last week, we had like 8 tornadoes touch down. Florence was like, oh, y'all think I ain't coming through here? But watch, I'm going to send my cousins up in this piece. Bam! All through Richmond. And I was shocked that there were so many tornadoes in one day.
To my knowledge, this is the closest it's ever come to like us.
Yes,
I mean, it's been like, further out, like maybe Amelia kind of, but this right here, oh my god.
And the sad thing was, I was talking about that very thing, about how, this area is actually nice to live in, you don't really get the terrible brunt of stuff. Like, stuff happens, some trees, but that's it. And then, as soon as I said that very day, tornadoes abound all over Richmond.
Yeah.
Jinx. It was terrible. And I was just like, my mom was scared. She's like, Paula, you need to come home now. I'm like, Mom, don't worry. I don't see anything. I'm still at work. And my sister was sick, so it was only me and my boss at work. And I was just like, what are we going to do? I don't see anything, though. I didn't see any funnel clouds, but it got really close to me. Like, I was like, oh my God, I go to that Gabe's. And it's closed now. I was so mad because I wanted to shop.
What?
I wanted to shop at Gabe's. Then the hair store I go to, the building right next to it was completely damaged because of the wind.
Oh my God.
I was like, trees were down in the parking lot, and I was like, yo, that thing came this close to me. The Lord loves me, that's why. Anyway, but also the people suffered from the tornadoes that we got. So it's like, people were expecting Richmond and Virginia to suffer, and we kind of did. And Florence, you were a bee for that. She was a bee for that. She came back around, she's like, but I'm going to drop these, though. Because of her, the thunderstorms happened, and the thunderstorms produced tornadoes. So, oh, God, anyway. I just wanted to put that out there, that everybody's safe now. We're glad. And I just hope everybody recovers well.
Yeah.
No more weather, and I hope the rain ends, too.
Yeah. And condolences to the guy that did...
his wife and the kid died. Oh, so terrible.
Wait, wife and kid? I thought it was one person, one casualty that we had here.
Oh, in Richmond. Oh, about the tornadoes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. There was one casualty at the, I think the Old Dominion Flooring. It was a warehouse. The roof got, collapsed in, and one guy died, so... support and prayers out to his family
and
friends and loved ones.
Tragic weather. Like, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to a lighter topic.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to move straight on into
Jumanji? Indeed.
Welcome to the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
The jungle.
That's not how it goes. No. Whitney. No. That's not the song.
Oh.
The song from the movie, Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
Oh, I don't know that song.
It was right at the end of the movie.
I heard it, but yeah, I don't know.
Alright, okay, that's what I was talking about.
I know Jungle Fever.
Okay, I don't even know that one. So I was like, the moment is back. But let's just talk about Jumanji. First of all, you know what's funny? As I watched this movie, I kind of likened it to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And I actually watched that today because I knew we were going to be talking about this. Just because I was like, another movie that like kind of talked about video games. Or like some part of it was done in this style. I realize now that they are very different.
Yeah.
In the way they approach. But I still like, it's almost like, that one was like, oh, they just took on the game world. And as opposed to this one, the world took on game-like elements, you know? In Scott Pilgrim. Like, the regular world had game-like elements, and then that one was like, they're in a game world.
Right, gotcha.
But I still liked it because you had the things on the screen, like all the little... it was really cool. I liked both, and I really loved watching Scott Pilgrim versus the World again today.
I do love that movie.
Such a good movie. Oh, God. I watched it while I was doing my hair, and I was just like, this movie rocks, man.
I know, right?
It's just funny and cool and edgy, and I love I was like, I really want the song the band is playing right now. And I remember the time where people really like bands. Now everyone's just into Percocet, and whatever else people are.
Wait,
and Kiki. All the new...
Oh, I don't listen to the new really that much.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rock bands. Like, you know, everyone wants to be a pseudo-rapper now. Or pseudo... I don't know what they do. Mumbling and all that BS.
If you're gonna be a pseudo-rapper, please aspire to be an actual rapper. Can we take it back to where rappers actually rapped for more than like one line? And can we have more than 3 words?
I'm gonna need y'all to enunciate too. That mumble rap, I don't care for that. Because I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Exactly.
And I have to know what you're saying.
You're not a real rapper if you mumble rap, because you could be saying anything, and I could do that too. I mean,
I know. Why you say we're not rappers? Because you say we're not rappers. Fly the Conchords. Remember when they were rapping about fruit and stuff? He's like, why are you saying we're not rappers? It hurts our feelings when you say we're not rappers. They tried. They were better rappers than some of the stuff that's out here. Anyway, but back to this movie. Okay, so this movie has a total reboot.
No, it's not a reboot. It's a continuation.
No. Not as in it's a reboot. Like, it's like the game had the whole like concept. It was rebooted, you know.
The concept rebooted, but it is a sequel.
Fine, I'll change my word.
Because it's funny. Because even though I haven't watched Jumanji, the original one, in a while, I do remember that at the ending.
All of it. Mm-hmm.
Remember the ending? It was like in the sand, and the game was in the sand, and they picked it up pretty much like right where the other one ended, with like, you know, the game in the sand and somebody picking it up, and then it's like, oh, who plays board game? So it's like, oh, so nobody's playing board games? Fine, we'll be a video game now.
That's the thing. And I'm like, how did it turn itself into a video game? But anyway, it was just a very cool concept. I like that it's like when Alan got to leave the movie. Alan Parrish, who was what's his name? Robin Williams' character in the first one. He got to leave, thank God, and come out of the game. He was in there for a long time. Excuse me. The funny thing was, in that game, he grew up in the game.
Yeah.
But for this movie, when you had the character that was stuck in the game, he got back home and he didn't have age a thing, you know?
I think the difference might be, because I thought about that too when I was watching it, and I think the difference is, since Alan Parrish was in the board game, so you don't really see, so he didn't have like a character that was established. He was like his own thing, whereas they became characters inside the video game, and you know, those characters, they don't like, for the most part, unless you're playing like probably like a Sims game, they're not going to grow and change. So since they weren't like themselves in the game, they were the characters inside the video game, he didn't grow and change because they don't in the game. So I think that was maybe the difference.
That's interesting, because I did not think about that at all. Because I was like, how come he got to grow? And then the problem was, I was looking at the passage of time that was happening, and there was passage of time in that one, passage of time in Welcome to the Jungle. And I was like, what's going on here? How come they were able to come back, and he came right back in 1996, the guy that got lost in the original game. And so, anyway, that's an interesting point. So, I'm gonna add that's just good. I like that. Gotta clear some things up. So in this movie, the Welcome to the Jungle, you have 4 millennials, centennials, whatever you want to call them, newbies. Well, of course, they're like the little Breakfast Club nook, you know, I mean, like, the baddies and detention, like, you're gonna do this, and then, a game! We're in the game! I have to say, at first I was like, I watched this movie with some skepticism, because at first I was like, what is this? Like, really? But once they got into the game, then I was hooked from the rest of the movie. I was so hooked for the rest of the movie.
I love when, like, Nigel shows up in, like, the truck. And then he's telling them, and he, like, keeps repeating the same lines because the non-playable characters only have so many lines.
What you doing out here, little lady? What you doing out here, little lady? She was just, like, saying stuff, and she was trying to flirt with them, and the character of Ruby Roundhouse. And Nebula, the girl that plays Nebula.
I love Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan is her name. But she's in a lot of different series. Yes, she was in,
I know her originally from Doctor Who.
Yeah, exactly.
She was in Doctor Who. And I loved her as Amy Pond. Amy Pond is one of my favorite companions from Doctor Who.
And I like the name Amy Pond. But she was in that, and then she's also Nebula in the Marvel series.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, well, yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, a.k.a. the child that Thanos hates. If he ever hates one of the child, it really is her.
Yeah, she's got, like, a really, really sad backstory, because, like, when you really consider...
You've been pulling her apart.
And you think about it, it's like, oh my god, this is, like, really, really messed up and tragic. Mm-hmm. But, of course, since it's, like, a Marvel, like, PG-13, they don't really focus on it so much, but when you, like, really consider, you're like, oh my god.
That's sadistic.
Yeah.
Of course, a messed up somebody would want to just make half the world disappear, half the universe disappear, as he did. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving on, and I'm gonna talk about Infinity War because there's happiness happening in the fun of this movie. So you have Dwayne Johnson. You have The Rock. I love him. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge Kevin Hart fan. But watching this has totally changed my opinion. I
actually really like a lot of Kevin Hart's comedy and stand-up.
I liked him in the Man movies. How to Think Like a Man. Oh, I didn't watch the second one, but I did. I loved him in that. I thought he was great, but I was just not a huge Kevin Hart fan. So
and not to interject, I know we're getting off topic, but I did watch a new to me, stand-up routine. This guy named Daniel Schloss. On Netflix. And he was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new one I saw. That one on Netflix.
They recommended it to me when I was on vacation, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, I love this guy.
Daniel Schloss. Okay, Daniel so now I know it's good. I'll watch it.
Yeah, check him out.
I always look for good comedy specials, because sometimes I run across them, and I love comedy, as you know. I love stand-up comedy. Any kind of comedy. I'm just always listening to comedy shows, and so I like stand-up. I like going to comedy shows, and I was like, let me listen, and so I will listen. And I've seen some on Netflix. I'm like, no.
I watched another one where it was like a series of different
ones. And then some of them are good, and then some of them are really not. And I was just like, oh, God. I know everybody wants to be a comedian right now, but I'm going to need y'all to be good, though. I'm going to need y'all to be funny. Yeah. So, anyway, but I like that they had these 4 people, these 4 kids. Well, the story was kind of simple. It wasn't like a main... I think it's more lighthearted and fun. It wasn't supposed to be like, let's solve all the issues.
The original one than this one.
Yeah,
but this was fun.
But this one was fun, and I liked it. I really did. It was lighthearted. It was so enjoyable. I watched it twice. I watched it twice, and I was happy watching it twice. I just love the idea of the game element. Like, they're in a game. Just like they're living life, but they're role-playing.
Yeah.
I liked it, really. I really did. That's why I likened it to Scott Pilgrim, because I thought of that, too.
And I love the fact that they, like, brought up stuff, like, that you think about sometimes in the game. Like, when Nigel, like, go to the bazaar, and Kevin Hart's character, he's like,
so funny.
You can't just, like, drive us over there since you, like, got to drive. Like, why are you dropping us off here when you could just drive us to the bazaar?
And it's so fun. It's like, and so RPG games are definitely more of a thing now, because I like that they went there, because, you know, no one plays a lot of board games now. More people are playing...
Well, I would say this wasn't an RPG.
Isn't it like role-player games? RPGs are role-player games.
Well, yeah, RPG does stand for role-playing game. But I would say that based on how stuff happened in this game, it wasn't like a RPG.
Why not? It seemed like it. Like it was made like a... It's probably not like a really advanced one, but it seemed like a really, like a small one where they had places to go.
I would say it was probably more of an action game.
Aren't role-playing games action games too?
Some of them can be action, but there's an actual genre of action, like Prince of Persia, like action or action adventure. Because like Prince of Persia or like The Legend of Zelda, those are more that genre. And then you've got stuff like Crash Bandicoot and like Mario, which are platform games. So I wouldn't say that the Jumanji game looked like it was a role-playing game. I would say it looked like it was more like an action or action-adventure game where your character is going around and like you're fighting.
Trying to do something. Okay, I can see what you mean.
Yeah, because you think, when you do like RPG, you think like Final Fantasy.
I know, but that's what I thought of when I was watching this. So I was like, you have the tasks to do, you're going around, there's people to fight,
Well, yeah, you usually have those in like action-adventure games too, though.
Okay.
Well, it depends on me, but yeah, okay.
I'm not abreast of the different distinctions. But anyway, it was more for the style of games that people play nowadays, I think. With the exception, there weren't any guns in this new one. Because there's like a lot of guns in all the other movies. I mean, games nowadays.
Yeah, there were boomerangs in here.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
No, but there were guns. It's just the bad guys had them.
I love that they had
Why did he have that giant satchel and his satchel-carrying guy, Kevin Hart, but you have no armed, you have no projectile weapons?
Nothing. And I was
you have
like,
a boomerang, but you don't have a gun? Dude?
I just was like, maybe, I don't know. He did not have a lot of weapons that he brought out. And I love that the Ruby Roundhouse, hers, I love the kung fu dancing, or what was it, fight dancing? Dance fighting. That was hilarious, because then she's like, the girl who was in her, she's like, I don't know how to flirt with guys and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, these guys aren't real. Doesn't matter. You just gotta keep their tail.
So funny because everything that what's her name Bethany taught her was useless because they were not playable characters and they were.
Oh, let's talk about Bethany. Bethany's character. Well, Bethany was one of those, of course, girls who were just all into herself, into her Snapchat selfie, whatever.
And so Instagram, I'm all up on here. Look at me on my Instagram living life. Well, on this posed picture though.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because she picked the name Shelly or Kirby, something, because she thought, she's gonna be fine. And then she ended up being in a guy's body. She just did that. Jack Black did that so well. Like, I love Jack Black.
Oh, speaking of...
I love Jack Black. He's just awesome.
I want to, sorry to go off topic a little bit, you guys, but to compare this was a good Jack Black movie, even though it was not like he was like the main character, it was like an ensemble, as opposed to The House with a Clock in Its Walls.
You watched that?
Yeah.
It wasn't good?
I'm not going to say it wasn't good. It wasn't that great.
Oh.
And I think it was really, really aimed at little kids. Because, there's a lot of stuff that's aimed at little kids, but as an adult, you're like, oh man, I'm really into this. This is awesome. This was not one of those for me.
Oh.
This was like the humor. It's just, and maybe for some adults it was, but it was just not my sense of humor. Like, the jokes and stuff and things that happen and the, like, storyline. I'm like, this is really, really simplistic. A little bit of slapstick, a little bit, like fart jokes or, like, poop jokes, things like that.
Yes.
And, like, the story, the plot was not... I thought, from the previews, I was like, oh, this is going to be cool.
Oh, God. Let's hope the Nutcracker movie's better.
I think
because I was going to watch that, but now that you said it, I'm totally not interested.
Yeah, because I think at first I thought I wanted us to like do an episode on it, but after having actually seen it, and since you haven't seen it yet, I'm like, yeah, no.
Okay, well, let's go back to Jack Black did better in this movie apparently, but I love that.
I'm sorry. Let me just clarify: it wasn't necessarily Jack Black's fault for The House with a Clock in Its Wall. I think it was a script and writing type issue. It just wasn't, I mean, for some people, it wasn't for me. Maybe it was for some people who have that type of sense of humor. I need more. Yeah.
You just need more.
Yeah. Okay, and we can move on now. Sorry.
Okay, back to Jack Black. Jack Black in Jumanji, he was supposed to play a girl because inside of him was a girl. And I just loved how he played the character.
Maybe we should clarify. The character who was
playing him
was Bethany.
Yeah.
But her character that she picked was a guy. Mm-hmm. Because when you say inside of him, I was like,
yeah, it sounds odd.
Bow, where the woman ate her like little.
Oh my god! I'm going back to the bow again.
But I'm just saying, when you say that the person's inside of them, it's like, I mean, there are some stories where somebody could have eaten someone.
Okay, we're not going there with it. But I liked it because Jack Black was supposed to be a girl. Like, the character he played he was a guy on the outside, but a girl on the inside because the girl picked him as the character, and that's just how he manifested. But he did a great job with it. I was so convinced. And I love the scenes where she's fascinated by his penis.
Oh my god, yes! That was hilarious.
And then, like, there's a situation.
Like, I really gotta pee, but I need one of you guys to
show me what to do. It made me laugh so bad.
And then when, they instruct.
He's like, yeah, you just gotta...
They were so awkward. She yells over to, what was her name? Heather?
Hillary?
Hillary? No, wait, hold on. Okay, that's why fact checking. I've got. Oh wait, wrong one. I want to make sure I get this right, peeps. No, Martha.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So she yells over at Martha. She was like, "Oh my God, Martha, come look at my penis." She's like, "No, that's okay."
She's like, "These things are cool." Because after she hugged Nick Jonas was in the movie, and I did not know until I remembered that he had a surprise role, and I heard when he was on an interview with Jimmy Fallon. Like, I just mostly was listening to the part about him and Priyanka, but then I realized that, Jimmy Fallon did say he made a cameo in this. Well, he was just in the movie, and of course he played the boy. He picked one of the characters, but he played one that was he was the guy stuck in the game for 20 years. Yeah, and so the girl Bethany's character, who was in Jack Black. She hugged him, and then Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart's character were like, you got a situation. She's like, look what he's doing. That's so funny. Oh, Lord. It was like, sometimes if you're the opposite, you think you're like, this fascinates you. You know what I mean? Like, they're not a big deal, but then you're just like, this is fascinating at the same time because you don't have that, you know what I mean?
It makes me think of the Family Guy episode where something happened and Peter ended up in like Lois's body and he was just like playing with her boobs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, that makes me think of Taraji P. Henson's doing. You know how they did What a Woman Wants. Yeah, but now they're doing What a Man Wants, and she's the woman that can hear men's thoughts.
Oh,
it's so interesting. The trailer was funny, and I was just like, I don't know. I can't remember because I watched it so long ago. If not this year, then next year, but it's probably this year because it's it's like a comedy, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's probably gonna be hilarious. I love Taraji P. Henson. I adore her.
She's good. But what are some other things you liked about Jumanji?
I just the non-playable characters. I love how it kept emphasizing that they would be asking someone something and they would repeat the same thing over and over again. It's
like a video game. And like the little point, and then they had when they touched their chest and the little thing that came up, strengths and weaknesses. Kevin Hart.
Weaknesses none for Dwayne Johnson.
That was hilarious. It's like, why is his he has no weaknesses? He was just awesome. I know Dwayne loved playing that. Did you know I heard that Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel do not get along?
Really?
Yes. Huh. And I was like, but they do all those movies together and you're like...
together? What movies have they been together?
The Fast and Furious series. Dwayne Johnson's been in there for several films now.
Oh, yeah, he has been in a couple of them. Well, maybe 3. I don't know how many, but okay. All right. I haven't watched the later ones, so I didn't
okay. I only watched one of the most recent one. I didn't watch any of the previous ones except for Tokyo Drift and the early ones.
Yeah, I watched Tokyo Drift.
I fell off. But, I fell off. But, I had heard that randomly, and then I was, looking at it, and I was like, wait a minute. They weren't in any of the scenes together in that movie. Dwayne and Vin were not in scenes together in that film. And I was just like, I didn't even realize it. And then, like, they do them, and they put them in the same movie, but they make sure they don't let them work together. And I was like, dang, is it like that? Both of them are like big strapping men of Hollywood. I'm like, how many each other get
with no hair?
Exactly.
Like,
and I'm like, Dwayne is just so cool.
It's like, can there not be... Is the universe going to implode? Is there, if there's two strapping men with bald heads in the same movie?
And I'm like, let the egos go, y'all. But I don't know. But that's one thing I heard, and I was just like, dang, that's messed up. But back to the movie. I loved Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I loved his portrayal of the guy, the young kid. No, Spencer. Yeah, because it was like they all were the opposite of their real selves. Mm-hmm. And it just shows, it's like, I guess I was thinking about, okay, so if you're an enhanced person, you would like, there was a part where the boy, after they succeeded in returning the jewel, excuse me, and when he hesitated because he's like, I don't want to go back. Do I want to go back? Because here I'm like,
brave.
I'm strong, I'm strapping, I have no weaknesses, and then he's like, but he just be himself at home. But then it's almost like the whole point was that, he actually can be brave and stuff, because he seemed like one of those shrimpy kind of characters. Mm-hmm. Not shrimpy, but more wimpy. Wimpy's the word I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. He was kind of wimpy, kind of like timid. Wasn't the one to be fighting or doing all this kind of stuff, but he showed himself to be different. Mm-hmm. And so I like the theme of the movie, that they kind of showed themselves that they were different, and then the girl, she didn't consider herself like the hot girl, but she had like a lot of skill and talent, and that what Spencer liked her the whole time. Mm-hmm. And, well, I'm not gonna like the jock. I just like that he got humbled. Mm-hmm. The jock got humbled because he was so swole in his, like, appearance and in his mind about himself. So he got humbled by being Kevin Hart, a small, shrimpy guy who couldn't do whose weakness was cake. When I saw, he just exploded after eating the cake. Oh my god, and that was hilarious. And they're like, oh, this guy is selling bread. And Bethany's character's like, it's sweet. Wait, what is this? She's like, I hadn't had bread so long, I didn't remember what it tasted like. And same thing with cake. It's like, you don't know what cake tastes like. Many moments, and then of course Bethany was not the beautiful one, So I like that they did that. They put all the characters in the opposite bodies and characteristics that they would not normally exhibit, and showed themselves that they can exhibit these kind of characters. And he could be a team player. He could take the back seat, the jock. And then the nerdy dude, I'm like, first of all, why you get in trouble for doing his homework? And I was like, really? Because he's still cheating. Yeah, he deserved it. I'm not gonna lie, they deserved it. Mm-hmm. Everything they said and did, they deserved it. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, Martha was out of control. Had they been black, she would have got slapped. Okay? For what she said to the teacher and the gym teacher, I was like... But I think she was just on a little rant, and she didn't mean to, like, take it to the... And being a damn gym teacher... She was like, oh... That was on the par with Barbara from Kill Giants, where I'm like, nah, had they been black... Barbara from I Kill Giants didn't care. I feel like Martha cared, but she just went into like a rant and went off and just didn't realize she had gone off. Either way, two white girls just disrespecting their gym teachers. I was like, y'all don't understand. If y'all were black, it would never happen. And then, of course, Bethany in school. I was just like, Bethany, why the heck are you making a phone call during a quiz? Yeah, and then she's like, just give me 2 more minutes. What? My God. We're had they been blacking it right now. We're had they been blacking it right now. Exactly. Had they been black. Tell my mama on the phone. That's why I got detention, because I was on the phone. And not only was I on the phone when when the teacher asked me to hang it up, I asked her for 2 more minutes. Oh, girl, the slapping I would have got, the caning my mom has a cane now, so the caning I would have got. Excuse me. I'm recovering, guys. I'm recovering from the sickness that's going around. Lord have mercy. But I was looking at her like, had they been black, you might have been wiped from existence for a reason other than the Jumanji game. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but this movie was full of fun, action-packed things. I love how they had the levels and the stages. Different areas to explore, and so it was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't imagine this being a real game. And I like that they thought about that. All the creators and the makers, whoever wrote it, I like that they thought about all those things. And now I know why it made so much money. It was just a good movie.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I was like, dang, I should have watched this in the theater. It would have been so much fun. But in my mind, I was like, no, I'm not touching Jumanji. Y'all can't do it right. And then I didn't really care to watch anything with Kevin Hart in it. And now I will, actually. I'm going to look at more of the stuff. I actually really want to watch Night School. Mm-hmm. That's coming out with Tiffany Haddish.
I don't have any interest in Night School. But
I do. I really want to watch it.
If I have a free day, and since I have Movie Pass, if it's on Movie Pass, then I might as well put it to use.
I know a lot of people comedies don't get watched now, but I'd rather watch something like this.
For the fact that at least I went on a Tuesday.
You Movie Pass, right?
No. I went on a Tuesday because the Movie Pass didn't have it for that day. So I went to AMC. And, AMC has the $5 ones. Mm-hmm. I wish I'd have just used my Movie Pass. I know, $5. I feel like I didn't even want to spend $5 on a house.
You feel like you wasted $5 watching the clock in the walls. Oh God. Oh man, but
I'm really looking forward to, and probably I assume maybe that'll be our next episode. Is probably what is it? A Star Is Born.
We'll see.
Or we might do a combo of Star Is Born and Venom because they both come out on the same day, I think.
Oh, we'll see what's next. We'll see. We don't know yet. Let's not tell them what's next. Y'all don't have to know right now. You're just gonna be surprised when we put out the blasts and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming out.
Exactly. There is a lot of good stuff coming out. So
we had a little bit of a dry spell in like September /
August. Yeah, there wasn't much.
But now it's like getting to we're just November. Gonna be insane.
I can't wait for Fantastic Beasts.
Oh yeah, that'll be nice. I'm just really looking forward to A Star Is Born and Venom. Oh, I got Mary Poppins. I saw Mary Poppins.
Yes, Mary Poppins. Yes, it's gonna be good. Well, what else? And
and Lin-Manuel Miranda
is
in there and doing some songs, so you know it's gonna be good, girl.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited about what's popping off. Well, by the way, we love Jumanji. What's your favorite board game? Or game in general, before we close off. Since it's about games.
Because video games, it would be really hard to say. But my favorite my favorite franchises are actually my favorite is Legend of Zelda. Probably followed by Final Fantasy, the newer ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then now I'm just gonna go through a list. Anyway, and I also really like Prince of Persia. And I'm also a fan of, I haven't played any but the first BioShock.
By the way, I liked Prince of Persia, the movie, with Mr. Gyllenhaal, even though they should have just got a real Arab.
I thought it was just okay.
I liked it.
I didn't dislike it. It's just one of those ones where I'm like, it's not like oh my god, this was a great movie. Mm-hmm. I was like, it was good.
Was Assassin's Creed good? I know they made a movie version.
I haven't actually seen Assassin's Creed, so I can't.
Have you seen real Creed? Creed 1 and Creed 2?
No, I haven't. Wait, Creed 2 isn't out yet, though, is it?
I thought it was.
Is it? Okay.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, people.
Okay. But yeah, I haven't seen Creed. I have not. I think I heard that they're making I think it's a comic book, not a movie. Because I heard they were making a new series based off of Killmonger, but I think it's for the comics, not for like a TV or a movie thing. But they are also I heard they're making a mini series for Loki and for Scarlet Witch, and I think they will likely have Netflix? The same actor and actress. Actually, no, I think it's going to be on Disney's streaming service that they're about to start.
Disney's going to start a Disney streaming service.
Mm-hmm. Because Black Panther is probably, I think Black Panther is going to be like the last Marvel and Disney type movie that's going to be on Netflix. Other than the Netflix series, like the Daredevil and the Luke Cage, and those ones they're going to leave over there. But the other stuff that are made by Marvel Studios, they're going to be, once the license runs out, I think they're planning on not renewing them. It'll just be on Disney's streaming service.
They must take over everything. Oh, goodness. Oh, Lord. Okay, quick question. I was thinking about this when I was thinking about Jumanji. Mm-hmm. I just think this would be a fun thing to think about. Which board game would you want to be dropped into? Board game, not Final Fantasy, not any of those games. Board game would you want to be? Think of any of the ones we have.
thinking.
She's thinking, y'all.
Thinking.
Well, I was thinking about it, and then I was like, life would be fun because different things happen to you.
I've never played Life.
What?
I think my parents have it at their house, but I never.
Oh, you talking the old school one? Or
yeah.
I have the newer one. Not the newest, but I have the newer one.
Well, I won't know the difference anyway because I never
Life
played
is, well, it is different because the other one had like a little spinny thing, and then like you could just it looked different. Life, but I have the newer one, and so I have to bring it. We have to play it. Okay. Yeah, but Life would be interesting because you dropped in and different things happen to you. That'll be okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not even like considering what would be the most fun. I'm doing a risk assessment.
Oh my god!
Because I'm thinking of Jumanji. I'm like, no.
I was gonna the only other one.
Not Battleship. I don't want to get like blown up.
The only other one I was gonna say was Clue. If you like mysteries, but then you could
get killed.
You could get killed. So
Killed.
But that would be cool. And then stuff like Seen It, you can't really enter that. So that's...
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. And then I was thinking, like, definitely not 13 Dead End Drive. Definitely not Grape Escape.
What about Monopoly?
Yeah. I mean, like, worst could happen, I could go to jail for a few nights.
Hopefully you have your get out of jail free card.
Oh, wait. Or I could go bankrupt. I could end up homeless with nothing.
Yeah. It's risk assessment, all right?
Yeah.
Scrabble is not really one you can enter. Unless you be a letter the whole time.
Candyland?
I've never played Candyland. See, that's one I've never played.
Ooh, I loved Candyland, like old school Candyland. Mm-hmm. I still have, well, I don't have it here, but it's at my parents' house. I'm sure I could dig it out and make sure that there's no pieces missing or broken or bent. But anyway, I loved Candyland.
You know what's interesting? This week,
Wait, what about Chutes and Ladders? Nobody dies in that, do they?
I had never played that either. So
me either.
That's one that I wonder if that's a good one because I've never played Chutes and Ladders.
I haven't played it either. I'm just trying to think of stuff where I won't die.
No, I know. You can't die in life. No, nobody dies. You just kind of finishes the game.
Oh, okay.
You kind of finish the game and then that's it. But thinking about games, I was in the Kroger, and I was looking around. I was going through the section where they have all the games. And, I love card games. That's one of my favorite things. I love Uno, Phase 10, all that kind of stuff. The funny thing is, I was looking at this display of card games, and of course it had Uno on there in Phase 10. But then under Uno was a game called Dos.
I think I've heard of that.
And I was like...
Didn't Shaliqua tell us about?
No. I've never heard about it, but apparently it is a game.
I feel like Leek was mentioned that too.
Maybe she mentioned it to you, but I was like, what is Dos? I'm so curious now. So, if any of you know what Dos is, please tell me, because it's like, the cards are apparently different. I'm so curious. I really want to go and just buy it and then play it and see what it is, because it's not Uno. It's Dos. So I'm like, hey, what kind of card game is this? I'm excited. I like the card games that are like traditional, like regular, the card games are made for the game. Like Phase 10. It's like, you can't play any other game with Phase 10. Like, you just
Definitely
can't.
not Operation. Sorry, I'm still doing risk assessment in my head.
That'd be interesting. I guess you haven't settled on one. I settled on Life.
I'm just marking things off still on my risk assessment.
Okay, I'll let you guys know what Whitney said later. But now we are going to tune out, y'all. Have a great weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Blerd out. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other Blerds and non-Blerd family and friends. And if you like our episode, please rate and review us on iTunes.
The intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, the username Caption, spelled Capshun. The show notes are by Bola, Hanson, and the audio engineering is by Whitney Booker.
And you can contact us by email at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to get social, you guys. You can find us on our social media at Instagram and Twitter, with our @handle being @blerdtalkbw. And we've got our individual things going on too, y'all. So you can find me, your Blerd Fashionista, on Instagram and Twitter at BolaStoryB. That's B with 2 E's like the insect. And I've got my own personal YouTube channel, just Bola Sade. That's BOLASHADE. D as in dog, E as in elephant.
And this is Whitney. You can find me at my company, Luminavi Studios. The email address is wit@luminavi.com. That's WHIT@LUMENAVI.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Luminavi Studios.